Next one.
I skip all video game cutscenes.
That's you.
It is me. Yeah. Yeah. I don't do this anymore. I don't skip all video.
What was there ever a point where you're like, was it?
What was the game that changed?
What was it? Was it Stream that bullied you into?
Yeah, I got bullied into it.
Rightfully so.
I got bullied into it.
What was the game where you're like, all right, this ain't so bad actually. This ain't so bad.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because I realized that when you don't skip them all, everything kind of makes sense. I was like, oh, it's kind of helpful. It's kind of cool.
That's kind of like saying like, yeah, you know, when I'm reading a book and I don't skip like 7 pages, it kind of makes sense, you know?
Yeah, but I think, you know, and to still to some extent, I reckon there's a lot of games where I could still skip the cutscenes and enjoy the game. Like,
yeah.
Because I think not all games need the cutscenes because I think some games, it's more about the gameplay for me still. But something like Final Fantasy or a JRPG, I think I could still probably skip.
What about what?
Just because the comp.
Yeah, but you won't be as invested.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think I could still enjoy it because I, you know, like Final Fantasy VII, great story, everyone talks about. But for me, the one thing I really loved doing was just the materia system in the original was amazing. Yeah, and getting to like theory craft builds with the materia was so fun.
Yeah.
And so
how many hours did you have to play before like clicked with you about like
story?
No, not even a story.
That you were actually enjoying watching
the menu system when you were like theory crafting and all that shit.
In 8, it sucked. I didn't like it in 8, even when I finished. I still didn't. Actually, it was kind of fun. But 7, like when I realized the amount of combinations you could make is when I was like, okay, I'm like smoking that materia hype. I was like, yeah, I'm down. This is good. Good shit.
Yeah.
But I think JRPGs, definitely I wouldn't skip the cutscenes anymore.
Yeah.
But also I realized that I don't, and I said this on another episode, I don't like voice acting in the cutscenes.
What do you mean? Wait.
Aren't you literally a voice actor?
Yeah. So for me personally, I realized the dichotomy of my life is that as a voice actor, I should love these things. But as a consumer.
Why do you hate them?
I don't, for me, the games, I love being able to, and this may be a stream thing too, but even personally, like I like being able to read the scene at my own pace and like voice it myself as well, which is something that's for stream, but even personally.
Oh, I'm like the opposite.
I don't like sitting there being like, all right, tell me. And they act it all out for me. I'm like, no, I like doing it myself.
I need that voice acting. I remember like, so obviously, you know, I'm on like a big kind of journey right now with the Trail series JRPG. So the original, like, it took me like half a year to get through the very first game. Number one, because it's like a big introductory. But number two, it was so hard for me to like immerse myself in the characters because they didn't have, it was like an old school JRPG, no voice acting involved at all. And it was only months in that I find out, oh, there's a patch where you can add voice acting to it. Right. And after I added the patch, I was like, oh my God, this is no longer like torturous for me to get through.
You know, I mean, but like in some senses, I also have my own idea of how I interpret the character, which may be different from what the director has interpreted that character to be. And to me, that's actually like, I prefer being able to explore that dialogue given to me through the lens of how I interpret that character, which I can't do.
So what you're telling me is that if the original Final Fantasy VII had voice acting,
I would not like it. I would not have enjoyed it as much. Yeah.
Then maybe you shouldn't make those. You shouldn't play the remakes.
Yeah, the remakes look boring to me, and then when I see the cutscenes, I'm like, no.
Okay, actually,
I like being able to voice it.
Actually, I do have a big. I had a big problem with playing the remake, and a lot of it was to do with the voice acting. Mostly because, you know, I'm used to anime voice acting, but seeing like the lips not be like perfectly in sync with what the characters are saying, that like threw me off a little bit.
Oh, it synced to the English. That's why.
No, the FF7 remake? No, it's synced to the Japanese, isn't it?
No.
They don't care about lip flaps in Japanese.
It's synced to the English.
Are they?
Yep.
Some of the voice acting felt so off.
16 as well was synced to the English. Same with Rebirth. It's all synced to the English voice acting.
Oh, because I switched to Japanese because like the English.
That's why I had to play 16 in English. Yeah. Because originally I was in Japanese and I'm like, these motherfuckers synced into the English.
No, yeah, because
there's less of a care normally.
No, I know that 16 was synced to English because that was like, you know, all British voice actors, and I think that was like written in English. And that's, I really enjoyed that voice acting, but in the 7 remake, the first like 8 hours or so I was playing, normally I just want to like dull out and just not read and
Yeah.
just listen to the voice acting. And so I had it on English and default, and it just felt off in some scenes.
Was Remake synced to the English? Well, because Rebirth, the second game, is definitely synced to the English now.
Right.
Maybe have a cheeky Google.
Maybe,
Kai?
yeah. Can you check?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like all the stories I've really enjoyed in the games I've played are ones where I get to like read all the dialogue, and yeah.
Your mind just doesn't make sense. You're like,
it doesn't.
I do not like reading, except for the times when I have to read.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because like I get to see all the interpretations.
Is it because you get to like control the pacing? Of
Yeah,
like,
the pacing. I hate it when like, and I realize this is probably why I'm never going to play a Persona game. Is that like it's 50 hours of all voice acting dialogue that I can have no input on, and I don't get to like interact with that in any way.
Yeah, but the characters are sick.
But that's part of the game for me, is being able to interact in that
So
way.
wait,
with it.
would the idea of Persona be more enjoyable for you if it just didn't have any voice acting in
Or
it?
if I could just turn it off.
I'm pretty sure you can turn it off.
But then that's also everyone. If I ever played it on stream and people were like, "Why did you turn it off? Why did you turn it off?" It's like, at least with Final Fantasy VII, the original, no one fucking because they actually did make there was a fan patch.
Yeah.
Where they'd voice acted everything. And
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
Oh,
But
okay.
I didn't
So
put it
in
on.
the remake, the lip syncs are different in both English and Japanese.
Oh, okay. Why did the voice acting feel so off then? I don't.
In English or in Japanese?
In English, so most people were okay, but sometimes, especially like there was some scenes where a lot of the NPCs just sounded like off.
Oh, the NPCs, yeah, kind of sound off, definitely. But at least like the main cast sounded good.
Yeah.
Like Barrett's voice in English.
Like
Sheesh.
I played Super Mario RPG Remake recently.
Yeah.
What a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
great game, dude. It's so fucking.
man.
It's so good.
Such
It's really
a
good.
actually a go-to game.
It's like a 12-hour JRPG that
No
was
bullshit.
just no bullshit. Just a fucking banger of a game. No
Music
fluff.
banger.
Yeah, dude. Music's great.
Gino.
And that was Gino, and that was so fun getting to do all the voices for that. Because
Yeah.
it's like it was like all written dialogue, but none of it was fluff, and it was just like straight to it, like
Yep.
comedy as well.
Yeah.
Square or was it just Square?
It was
back
Square
then?
at the time,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just went ham.
Yeah.
And it's just a fucking banger of it. You should play it. It's really fun.
That's why it's a certified hood classic, man.
Dude, it is. It's
it
although
doesn't have any voice
ending's a
acting
little
in
long.
doesn't have any voice acting. No, like I have played games without voice acting before, but voice acting just like for me, especially with story-based games, immersion is like a big thing.
Yeah, to me,
And-
for me, that's like I think you're like that Wojak with the head caved in. And you're like, oh, I need them to read it for me.
No, it's like
What a weak JRPG
Wait,
player
wait.
where you need it read to you. I read it all, God.
wait. So you're you can't immerse yourself if you have voices playing, but you can't immerse yourself when you fucking jack off, and there are no voices to immerse yourself
I
in.
don't
and
want to voice my own porn. I'm just trying to beat off to my own performances, God.
You're like, I need this interpreted for me. I want to
you do
interpret
like
this
that.
myself.
Oh, yeah, I do like it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to come.
I don't know, man. Maybe your porn performance is just weak.
Yeah, maybe I just don't have the direction.
Yeah.
So what's my motivation for getting railed here? I just don't really feel it.
Yeah, it's like
But then also I won't read like if I find that like they're trying to world build with like they're like we found this note in a thing and it's got like nothing to do with the main story and he's trying to tell me about this village. I'm like,
Yeah.
like, I'm not reading that shit.
No, that's great. That's like YouTube lore videos for me.
Yeah, I want someone on YouTube to tell me what's important and what's not.
No, because okay, there's this thing in Mass Effect where you go into the menu and they have like the whole world history of like every war and like the breakdown of like every race in
Yeah.
Mass Effect, and there's like a narrator that like narrates
Oh, that's
all of it for you. And I spent like hours just in that menu, just like, because it was basically like a YouTube lore video where it was just like one guy being like, and then this race got into war with this race, and this war lasted, the first contact war lasted 100 years before the and
And then
like,
the Fremen took over.
yeah, and to me that was like super fucking
That
interesting.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
That's like a good way to handle it.
Yeah.
I think whenever I get up a collectible in an RPG, I'm like, yo, and then like journal entry. Okay. I'm so like, no, fuck off. No, fuck off.
or where it like tells you like the lore behind the
Yeah,
item.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck you. Or they're like, this village 5,000 years ago had it. And it's like, I don't care. That's not now.
Wait, but you didn't feel that way when they do it in like Dark Souls?
What
that's-
do you mean?
'cause that's
By
what-
the way, I've never played a Dark Souls.
Okay, because
I've never
that's
played
one of the
Elden Ring.
few ways that the game actually like tells you about the lore.
No, but
is through
again,
like item descriptions.
yeah, I mean that's interesting in like small
Yeah.
doses, but as it's so hard.
Oh, when it's stacked on top of a
when
bunch of lore.
when you're trying to play when you're trying to play Dark Souls and you're
Right.
getting your ass destroyed for like 4 hours in a boss fight, and then you pick up a vial and they tell you about something, you're like, I forgot what I found out. Like, I don't remember any of the shit I was told.
That's
to
fair.
say. I was fighting for my life, but I'll watch a fun YouTube video where some guy painstakingly assembled all the lore and figured it all out and explains it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this is great. Like, I'm down for this.
Sure.
But with JRPGs, I really liked that. Final Fantasy 7, got straight to the point. Really, really excited.
Yeah.
And I really, really, hopefully, by the time this is out, I might have played Chrono Trigger. We'll see. If
Yeah, I want to play Chrono Trigger as well.
I really want to.
I want to talk about Chrono Trigger with you guys.
Yeah,
because it's the as I think someone once said, it was the original Weebs game.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Weebs before
Okay.
the new Weebs.
What would you say?
The real Weebs.
The Super Nintendo Weebs.
yeah, the Weebs before it was cool.
I don't think we have we ever talked about this. What is your favorite video game story? Like top 3 that come to mind.
Fucking Modern Warfare 2, mate.
Of all
no
time.
Russian.
No Russian.
Soak
No
me-
Russian.
Soak me fucking Travis, mate.
Just remember, no Russian.
I don't know.
Probably Earthbound is up there for me.
What's the story of Earthbound?
Story of Earthbound?
Yeah.
Story of Earthbound is...
I've never heard Earthbound in a conversation on best narrative of all time.
I just think it's a really solid one, and I think it like enhances the gameplay because it's like basically meteorite comes down onto Earth, lets loose a bunch of like alien forms, and then there's a super powerful alien called Gygus who is trying to destroy all of humanity and the entire universe and space and time and everything, and it's up to Ness and his friends to try and destroy them. But along the way, you just encounter so many different characters and so many different worlds and times and stuff like that it just like perfect. It's like it's not overcomplicated, but it's just a nice, neat little package with a big ribbon on top, and it's like, yeah, this is great. This is a fun, immersive experience.
Narrative driven.
It is narrative driven. In a
I don't
sense.
know about the best story. I thought
I don't know. What's your favorite?
my favorite.
Favorites.
I played a lot of games.
Yeah.
I like the original Halo series a lot, even though it's kind of dumb. I love
Final
it.
Fantasy VI is up there for me as well. One of the best stories.
Does Halo have a good story?
Yeah,
I've heard Halo is a good story.
I played up to Halo 3.
yeah. The original 3 is good. I thought Reach was really fun too. I like the story in Reach. I think Undertale has a great story. All memes aside, I think Undertale's actually a banger.
Okay, I've heard Undertale. I mean,
Well,
I think
it had to come from somewhere.
I think you can tell what media has affected people a lot in this day and
Undertale is
age
a fucking amazing
by
story.
like the meme
It is a great
game. A lot
story.
of the times, the meme game is directly proportional to how effective that piece of media is to an
Yeah,
audience.
yeah.
Mother 3 as well is also an amazing story, which Undertale took a lot of inspiration from.
Yeah, I don't know what game stands. I think Undertale's the first thing that came to my mind.
I mean, it's a fucking great
But
story.
it's so good.
It's such a good story.
And all memes and internet side, it's
Yeah.
just a great story.
Honestly, it's a great story. Great game.
Yeah,
It's just the fan base.
Well,
as it
They've grown up.
as
They've
it
grown
always
up.
is.
As it always is.
They've grown up like the
They've
dragon,
grown
like
They're
Dragon
the
Ball.
Dragon Ball fans.
all
now,
right,
you
let's
know?
let's continue. Go on.
伝説の軍人ファントムレイブ
It's like the Yakuza 8 one where it's like I skipped this Yakuza 8 cutscene and now I don't know what's happening, and it's like it's just Ichiban talking to like some random dude on the street, and a guy decides to skip the cutscene, and then it just immediately goes to like a Mario Kart clone. And he's like,
I've seen that one.
and he's
I've
like,
seen
what the
that
fuck
one.
is going on?
I saw the Subway Surfers clone too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what I like can't wrap my head around is like when you do it during narrative-driven games. Because I saw that meme during during a Spider-Man 2 cutscene.
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is so much about the narrative.
Yeah.
you know,
It's
why
like the
would you
main
skip the
crux of the
cutscenes?
game.
Yeah.
I saw which game had was it? Oh, Tales of what was it? No, fuck. What was the game? Grand Blue Fantasy.
Yeah.
When you skip the cutscene, it would give you a summary of what the cutscene was.
Oh really?
Yeah, I noticed because I skipped the
Oh.
cutscenes.
I didn't, so I never saw that.
Yeah, when you click, you should see. It should show up. You got to cutscene skip. You got to type that in.
Yeah, cutscene skip. Oh yeah, no, it says right. It's right there.
Oh yeah, look at that one.
Yeah, that third one there. Oh,
And people called it video game donkey mode. Oz Twitter coined the term.
that's actually really neat feature.
You know what? Actually,
That's a neat feature. I like that.
That is a good feature.
Because everyone's happy.
Because I will say it hits every demographic.
Yeah.
All right. Let me pivot back to the skipping video game cutscenes.
Okay.
I think there should be an option to skip video game cutscenes, like the Grand Blue Fantasy option, because the amount of nothing cutscenes that I've had to sit through in Genshin Impact is like it's okay. Maybe I'm the one that's changed my mind. All right.
Yeah.
There are some scenes in JRPGs that do not need to be there, or just like very, very bloated.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
And sometimes, obviously, there are some fucking massive scenes, but sometimes you're in a conversation and you're like, I don't really care what this conversation with this NPC. Just give me the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Actually, this is
Give me the goddamn side
Just
quest.
give me the-
I also
yeah.
hate when I know this is not that much of a problem anymore, but some games still try to do this where like there's no built-in pause feature during a cutscene.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
Because they're gonna fucking get the door or something, bro. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, give us a pause scene if we can skip cutscenes. Maybe not like entire cutscenes, but at least like dialogue scenes. You know,
Yeah.
at least like dialogue scenes.
Isn't that all scenes?
No,
No,
because a lot
no.
of cutscenes are like just action based.
Okay.
Yeah, like pre-rendered
Fair
ones.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.